To me, enough is enough. They just wanna hurt us, bring us down, bring us down. Enough is enough. We won't let them hurt us, bring us down, bring us down. Enough is enough.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Indie Wrestling Corner with another episode of Under the Ropes. I'm your host as always, the queen of the Indies, Tiffany. And today, this is a long overdue podcast. Like, I feel like, you know, there's so many.
Right.
There's never enough time. Never enough time. But I got it. You're here. We have my good friend Tyree Taylor. How are ya?
Hold on. You didn't realize one of my favorite things to do is to introduce myself.
Oh, okay. Here. Scratch that.
One of my favorite things to do is to introduce myself. I am the heavy hitter, wig splitter, never quitter, big boy from Brooklyn, Tyree Taylor. And we are here. We're here on this podcast. We're about to do the damn thing with my girl Tiffany.
Yeah.
Been long overdue.
Yes.
Known her for years.
Yeah.
She ain't ring the phone or nothing, you know what I mean? But I'm here though.
So awesome. Yeah, there's so many people like I said that, you know, there's so many people I still need to like have on this podcast, and it's like I'm getting there. It's constant. I went from nobody's gonna come on my podcast, nobody's gonna sit and talk to me, to like, damn, I just don't have enough time to put everybody onto the podcast. So, but you know, here we are. So anyway, but guys, if you're new to the Under the Rope series, here I interview everything independent wrestling, whether it's wrestlers, promoters, referees, backstage, I got you covered. If you guys got any questions for Tyree, please drop it into the chat. We want all those juicy questions, so drop them into the chat.
I'm an open book. Any and every question. I want it all.
Bring it.
All the smoke. We out here.
Bring your questions on. So, but yeah, if you could please hit that share button so we get some people in here and get this party started. And if you're listening to this later, I appreciate you so much. So make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, all that fun stuff. So, all right. So like I said, we're gonna get this party started. We're gonna go back to basics. That's how I like to do it on this podcast. So we're gonna learn a little bit about you, how you got into professional wrestling.
Oh, well, I was a baseball player when I was in high school, and I was getting scouted and all that good stuff, knocking 450-foot homers, playing some excellent first base, doing my damn thing. And the scout kind of disappeared. Poof, gone. Don't know, and I hope he's still living today, you know what I'm saying? But I've always been a fan of wrestling, and I thought, hey, I'm probably not going to college. I'm more of a tradesman myself. So I went into a trade, but I thought I'd give it a shot at wrestling. And I went with my father to Brooklyn, New York, where I'm from. I didn't realize wrestling was that close, and went to the office of Hall of Famer Johnny Rods, paid my startup money, started the day after my 19th birthday. The rest is history.
Man, it's crazy. So like those New York accents, right? And everybody always says, right, that like you could always kind of like tell, but there's that difference between that Queens accent, that Brooklyn accent, the Bronx accent, like even Long Island.
Absolutely.
Long Island's got its own like accent.
Well, Island.
It's funny.
There's no guy in Ireland.
Yeah. I was like, I broke Delmi XO last week when I had her on. I was talking about dog. And she bust out laughing. I was like, I can't help it. I was like hot dog. Like I can't help it. It just comes out the way that it comes out, pretty much. So, but
absolutely, oh yeah.
All right. Well, obviously, we'll get into it. The fact again that we know each other for a long time or whatever like that.
Yes.
So obviously, I've seen you even recent, you know. But so for the fan that's never seen you wrestle before, listening to this podcast, what's the go-to match of yours, in your opinion, that they should go watch to become an instant fan?
Oh man, Okay. There's two matches that right off my head. There's two matches. One with my boys in Prolific, me, Marcus Marquis, and Isaiah Wolf, versus Shane Taylor Promotions. Got to face Big Bro. That trios match at Jobber Slam last year, one of my favorites. I'll show that to anybody. And if you go in the Limitless archives, when right before the people came back from the pandemic, I had one of my favorite matches with a good friend of mine, TJ Crawford.
Yes.
So me versus TJ Crawford. And I feel like you'll be an instant fan of either one of us when it comes to a match like that. So those two matches are all my go-to.
I love like actually like your guys' opinions on the matches because sometimes like I might like a match and then I was like, oh, the match was so good, and then I go, no, that sucked. And I was like,
oh man, we're our worst critics.
You are.
we are our worst critics.
That's why
I will watch any match I have back and realize, oh, that match sucked. Like I would watch it first time as a fan, and then the rest a disease-eating critic. Like it is so bad. I had a match with Ricky Shane Page, and everybody's like, "Oh, that was a great match." I watched it about 3-4 times. It's like, there's so many things I could have did better in this match. so yeah, we are our worst critics, but I'm sure I could put that match against anybody. So
yeah. Well, that's why I say that's why I like to ask you guys because it's like something that I might think is like so good. And if like crap, like so, okay, you tell the fans which one you think is the best in your opinion, or whatever like that. Because we all have our own opinions, you know. So
have at it.
So there you go, guys. So definitely go check that out. All right, so let's go back. Let's go back again. Both New York is here, whatever, you know. So let's go back to BWF, and I know like you were talking about it at Wrestle Open or whatever.
Yes.
So that's how we know each other. So God, that was like so many years, like
2017, 18,
maybe before the pandemic.
Right.
So
about a year and change before the pandemic.
Yeah, something like that. Like I used to come to a bunch of the shows there. It was in a gym, and we were having this whole conversation the other day.
Darrow's and Bronx.
That's how I found a lot of people, which is great. And you know, like everybody's like, oh, the New York scene, and then eventually, like I wind up leaving like the New York scene and started venturing outside of New York. But BWF was definitely one promotion that I used to go to in New York all the time. That's how I've met like a lot of people that I've had on this podcast recently that are up on Wrestle Open a lot. You know, so it's like. Johnny Santos,
we talk shit all the time about our times.
Oh, I'm sure.
When we know each other and stuff like that. So yeah,
there's a lot of a lot of guys. I think like the first Wrestle Open that I came up to, I was kind of shocked, like who I was running into because I hadn't seen people in so many years since before the pandemic. Because even like leaving outside of New York and checking out what's outside of New York and the independent scene. So again, Johnny Santos, brother greatness. You know, it's like blown away that I'm like, oh my God, Anastasia. Like I ran into her into the bathroom of the Wrestle Open. She goes, you used to go to BWF. I'm like, yeah. Like I remember her match with Karen Bam Bam at one of the shows.
Oh man, it's still one of the best unseen gems I've seen personally in that match.
I don't remember.
So
was this so? I don't even remember. Was this aired somewhere? I don't remember the BWF shows.
It was on what's his name, Ruiz. It was kind of on Title Match, kind of not. Well, but it was there. If it was like 10 years ago, it'd be on like DVDs somewhere.
Right.
But it's definitely a need to know type thing now.
Yeah.
So, there's some episodes on IWTV that I just discovered and looked back and was like, wow.
Yeah.
That was bad.
I think one of my favorite things was Escape from New York. And I'm always going to give TJ Marconi like that, you know, because I think that was his concept that he put together.
Which I will say is it was a very creative idea.
Yeah.
It was a very, the problems were that building is way too small for that many people.
Yeah. Well, they cut off. So you had people like working out in the gym, and then they had like this sheet going on in the back, and then the bathroom was one bathroom.
Yes.
I was like, what am I doing? I was
Oh,
like,
man.
You see people like changing into their gear.
Good old Doros. Good old Doros. But at the end of the day, like it was a great platform for what it was.
Yeah.
It was something that, like, especially when I came back from Texas training with Bookers, I didn't really have like a home coming back,
Yeah.
and that kind of became a home for a little bit, and everybody kind of flourished and tried and did what they could and kind of weeded out the weak and did all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And we rode it to the very end. So
Yeah.
you know, as much shit as we talk about it, it was a great platform and it did what we did for us.
Yeah. I mean, I want to talk about like good stuff about like BWF, but first let me give some love to the chat. Wes says, hey everybody, Kyle and Wes say hi. We love seeing Tyree at Magic on IWTV Wrestling Open and other shows here in Jersey. We appreciate you, buddy. So
Magic. Magic.
Zach Sierra, he said, I just saw him have a really good match with Alec Price in Providence, Rhode Island.
Yes. Yes. One of my favorites.
There you go.
It was a good one. It was a good one.
Thanks.
Very nice venue too. Rhode Island is very like niche pretty. It's very industrial. And then all the water in the bridges and stuff like that, and the spray paint and the art and stuff.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I just noticed that. I went up to Fight Life like 2 months ago, finally.
Yeah.
Like it was the first time that I was actually in Rhode Island, and I was like, okay, I'm coming up for a Fight Life show. So I was like, that was my thought exactly. Even though it wasn't deep into Rhode Island, I think it was like 20 minutes from from Connecticut into it.
Yeah.
Kind of like me coming up to Massachusetts for Worcester. So, but yeah, it was very industrial that I kind of got that vibe, you know, over there. So, but yeah, I'd like to explore more in there. So, but yeah, so let's go back to like BWF, you know, like, so what are some of your like favorite memories there?
The controlled chaos. There were a lot of things that we've done as performers and as workers that with that platform, we can evolve as workers. You get what I'm saying? A lot of stuff I did for the first time there, like the Apache deathmatch, Apache Steel Cage deathmatch. Like I never thought I'd be, you know, in such chaos and doing all that good stuff. The talent, there's really good talent.
Yeah.
And here's my first like. I really shit on people sometimes. Here's my first one. 95% of the wrestlers suck, I would say. Well, not my opinion. But that 5%, that 5% where you can see like potential greatness and potential like there was a lot of that there. It's like oh you're so close. You're so close, including myself. Like it's so close, and that's kind of the beauty of it.
Right.
So and you kind of realize like the legacy you can build in a little area. I guess you build it, they will come. Yeah. So.
It was fun. It was definitely
Absolutely.
like I mean I had my fun. I mean I was
Yes.
So definitely fun. Great thing. Zach saying #Tyree for Fight Life? ?
Hey, let them know.
Tell Frank. Are you
know.
there tonight?
Frank,
Are you at Fight Life? Tell Frank I said hi.
Let's go.
Send me footage. Send me footage of all my favorites, please, if you're there. Because I want to see. I'm sad I'm not there.
That's 40 minutes for me. You know, and it's on a Wednesday. I can hop down and we out there.
There you go. I see. Like Frank's like running like every 2 weeks now. Like at first it was like every 3 weeks, and now he like upped it to like every 2 weeks. And I know it's a little hard for some people with Wednesdays.
They got a little nice thing going.
Yeah.
Little nice thing going, especially on a Wednesday. Nobody, really runs on Wednesday, so it's very good. Very good platform. Yeah.
Much love to Frank. All the best of luck over there.
Absolutely.
I'd love to have him on the podcast. He's not ready yet. He's like, I'm not ready
He
yet.
He does amazing behind the scenes work too. So follow him. Make sure you see his work. He does amazing camera work.
Yes.
Amazing camera work. Shout out to him.
He does so good. So yeah, he said he's having fun now, and I was like, I get it. I was like, I totally get it. So stay in the fun zone. He does. He definitely does. So much love to him. So yeah, I want footage of that match. Yes, please and thank you. Anyway, all right, let's talk Wrestle Open because there's so much stuff to talk about with Wrestle Open. It's one of the staples that I like to talk to with a lot of you guys like on here. So love the concept. Everybody knows that about me, that I love Wrestle Open. Again, like I love, and I talked about this with a lot of people, even like Del Miexo. We were talking about this recently, and I was like, I like the collide of different promotions are running together at Wrestle Open. So you're seeing like H2O coming in, you know, like you're seeing people from Chaotic, you know, like you're seeing people from New York, you're seeing people from Create a Pro, like, so I love that. And things can get stale after a while because people sometimes book a lot of the same matches. Like, you know, let's say in a region of like New York, like you see the same thing over and over and over again, right? That nobody ventures and like collides of what matches could be. So that's what I kind of like about Wrestle Open a lot. You know, obviously there's a lot of people that you have worked, but obviously we're going to talk about the big thing that's been going on, that's been popping off right now. We're going to talk about Brett Hollister. I mean, he came on the podcast. He talked a lot of shit. Yeah. So here we are. We're giving you the platform now. So talk to us a little bit about that. I mean, the build-up was great. You know, the blow-off. Yeah. So I gotta let you go.
All right. So, oh man, Brad Hollister. First of all, amazing talent. The great thing about Wrestling Open is you get to see a lot of new faces every week. You get to have a platform to work a lot of new people. And Brad Hollister was one of those guys who I was already there for a couple weeks, and then he had a match, and I was like, this guy, you know. But I realized he had a mouth on him, and he lost, needed to shut the hell up, and I was the only one to tell him, and he kept ducking and dodging. And then when we got that one glorious moment, I beat him all over. No respect. I beat him all over. White Eagle, inside, outside, up top, down low. Yeah. We did all that, and then you know, money was exchanged apparently in the back, and Steven Stetson, the big cowboy, big Jersey cowboy, if that's the thing. It distracted me. I got a nice jacket and coat, and he stole my jacket and coat. I was pretty upset about that. And then next thing you know, I'm through a door. Yeah. So and I mentioned this before. Like when you cheat death, the debt is doubled. So now that Brad Hollister has is now Steven Stetson's because he decided to put his own as a business. So now we're here. Yep. He's being bullied apparently, and I'm gonna leave him to his devices while Steven Stetson gets double the work. So yeah,
and like we have it here. We're here.
We're
here. And this is why you got to tune in this Thursday too.
IWTV every Thursday.
Yeah,
every Thursday.
And
replays on Friday.
You guys are gonna go at it this Thursday.
Hands and feet.
Hands and feet.
That's it.
Hands and feet.
I'm not playing games though.
You know, during the No Respect show, like I was on the phone with one of my friends, and I'm like, oh, I feel bad for the bartender because it was like one ran in the back, like during I don't know if you noticed that. I mean, one stayed and, you know, gave you your Jack and Coke. The other one ran to the back. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She, the nice young lady was pretty brave. She knew I wanted Jack and Coke. I tipped her heavily, and after the show, had no pockets in the singlet, just so you know, and got my Jack and Coke, which was stolen. So. Yeah. very.
I mean, it was fun. I mean, I think everybody, and I know even like on Twitter, I mean, I would have loved to have been at it. I wish I could come like every time Wrestle Open goes. Obviously, it's a hike for me to come up there, but like it was just so well executed, the match, and like even like going upstairs, like, you know, like the little window up there, and then the curtain being pulled, and then it was like, okay, everybody was like, throw it.
I would have. Definitely would have.
Throw him out the window.
Definitely would have. 15 feet was 15, 20 feet. Yeah. New Jack did it. and so.
And then we got kind of beat with the outside stuff because it went into like white lights, and it was like,
Yes.
no,
Good.
fix the levels.
So let me. I'm gonna put you on. I put his head in a flower pot.
Yeah.
His head was in a flower pot. He was sniffing daffodils for like a couple seconds, and I would have kept him longer. And the ref then pulled me off, said, "Hey, you're gonna kill him." Also pulled out a screwdriver,
Right.
because I don't play games. So
terrible. But this was a really.
that's neither here nor there.
Well, that was great. All right, let me give love in this. I got like a bunch of people in the chat. Okay, so Matt, awesome. What's going on? He goes, my brother Tyree, much love, miss you, bro. Had a great match with Tyree a few years ago, and we've teamed up. Yes. Awesome dude, hands down.
Team BWF.
Yes.
I remember that. Yes.
We had to talk a little bit about BWF earlier, so thanks for coming on in.
Yes.
Bob Cantor's in chat. He said Stetson gets no bitches.
He doesn't.
He said Manders is my cowboy. I kind of agree with that. He said, what is your favorite...
That's a real cowboy right there.
This is true. So he said, what is your favorite feud so far in Wrestling Open?
Well, Hollister was always my favorite, but because like you always want to shut that guy up. His face is so punchable, and he does this weird mohawk braid thing that I want to just rip off his head. And I wish the stipulation I would shave his head and get rid of that stuff and everything like that. But ironically, anything I do with Jay George, is very out there because he's an out there individual. So I'm always intrigued about working with Jay George. So we can make movies and all that good stuff.
He's fun. It's all about the the characters, the charisma, and there's just so many people out there, and that's what I like about Wrestle Open, like all the different characters, and like much love to Jay George, and like
if you're an introvert, he gives you anxiety.
I can think of a couple of people. No, I love it. If you guys want to check out that interview, Jay George has been on the podcast as well. Oh, man. Captain Dave, what's going on? Mark says, Tyree, we miss you at Ace Pro Wrestling, brother.
Tell Mike to call me.
There you go. Make it happen.
Tell Mike to call me. Tell Mike to call me. My phone number has not changed.
There you go. See?
I love Ace. Ace gave me that platform, too. And actually, I was just talking to the heavyweight champion there. So things could be popping off, but Mike, give me a call.
There you go. Sweet at your favorite promotions. Tell them to book
Let's do it. Let's do it. We are
so here. I always say that. It's very important. That's why I randomly post stuff, because sometimes it happens.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's like, if you guys are active on social media and promoters see that, then they're gonna catch on to that and be like, oh, maybe I should
Absolutely.
I just got a text question. That was funny. I just saw that light up, and it says, remember to ask Tyree about when he's coming back to Chaotic.
Oh, who asked that?
Dominic.
Oh, all right. So I think about it all the time. I know that a lot of the students are getting the burn and play that they deserve, because I've seen them when they were, in the beginner's ring, and then I stepped away, and then I watched them grow. Like I had a match with Armani Chaos, who's turned into an amazing talent. So I would love to mix it up with them one more time. It ain't nothing but a phone call.
There you go. I love Chaotic Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk more about Chaotic Wrestling, because it really has become one of my favorite promotions, and one of the things that I like. I have a lot of favorite promotions, and Chaotic's definitely up there, because one of the things that I really enjoy about Chaotic is the storytelling. they really, and like they've upped their game too, like within this last year too. So it's like now they're going live unless it's like somewhere that they physically can't go live. And they've been working out the kinks now too, so which is great. So someone like me that can't always come up to Massachusetts, that at least I could sit behind me and watching my television back there, and I could sit there and support on Twitch, watching Chaotic. And I love that commentary is interacting with the fans now, so they know like, oh, Brad Cashew's coming out, Tiffany's gonna pop for that bridge, you know. So it's like
yes.
You know, but I just love it, like the promos, like they put all their thought into I love promos, like that's one of my favorite things about wrestling. Like I really get into it, and I like when the wrestlers like invest and, you know, even put it out on social media, and you're having that back and forth on social media. So I'm one person that can really, you know, talk about that. So let's talk about some of your favorite moments working at Chaotic, because I know me and Dom had talked about that before. So
probably my highlight is like when the pandemic happened, and especially during some phases of life where there was a lot of people who had got to get out the scene for rightful reasons, and I was brand new to the scene. So the fact that Chase Del Monte gave me a shot to kind of hold it together, along with the nucleus of crew, was very heartwarming. I'll always have a place in my heart for Chaotic. My matches with Mike Verna, and shout out to Mike Verna. Please have a speedy recovery.
Yes.
And you know, even if it's not in the ring, I hope to see you soon, brother, and get well very soon, bro. Yeah. But me and Mike Verna, instant chemistry, very, very awesome performer, and we had amazing matches. And ironically, as much of a pain in the ass he was to me, TJ Crawford is my partner.
Yeah.
Was very enlightening, because I gave him no shot to be my partner. Like legit. I didn't like the idea. I did not like the idea, because I saw him at Limitless when we did the road.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, yeah, he's a good worker. All right, cool. Kept it pushing, and then when the idea came to me, it was like, how's this gonna work? Yeah. Turns out he's funny. Turns out he's actually hilarious. Yeah. And he has a great amount of charisma to match his amazing talent, and it ended up just working. So, you know, those would probably be my highlights there. And power bombing Reggie through a table, and also power bombing Chase Del Monte, because he deserved it. So
I love everybody over there. It's just
Chaotic Wrestling on YouTube. Yeah. Look it up. It's I have it on replay, because he deserves it.
You gotta share it later so we can like recap. We're gonna reclip, but like, oh, you know, like we're having a little flashback today, and like we're talking about. But much love to TJ Crawford. Like TJ Crawford is definitely like one of my favorites out there. Yeah. So I need him to come back. So, you know, like as I always say, like get well soon. I need him back. No ands, ifs, buts. I need him back. So come back, and then you guys could like wrestle again or team up for something.
We could.
I'm for it.
I know what I'm going for, though.
I'm here for it. So, oh man. All right. So I like to talk about this because I always talk about, you know, there's times like I'll go to shows, and you know, you can tell when the wrestlers are having a good time, you know, like when it's like a laid back, it's not meant to be like a very serious like story. Like it's nice every once in a while to have those fun moments in the ring. And like I think like, you know, we can tell like when you guys are having fun. Actually, I'm going to talk about this with Main Event next week, because there's a match in particular that screams from violence and suffering with them. So I'm definitely going to talk about that with them. Yup. So I love those guys. Good guys. You know, all the New York guys. I love all you guys.
Midas and Lion.
Yes, good love people. So I'm always day one with them. And I'll get to the questions in the chat. Sorry. So, you know, what is like one of your moments that you think that was like, oh my God, I had like just the best time in the ring. Like, you know, it wasn't like work, you know, like it was actually like, yo, this is the best moment that I'm having right now. The fans are all into it. Like,
Well, as you can see, the match we had with Brad
Yeah.
Hollister, you know, I got to go into every crevice of the legendary White Eagle in
Yeah.
Worcester. So, like, going there every week, you just go in that one area, you go in the locker room, you
Yeah.
keep it pushing,
Yeah.
and then you got to go everywhere.
Yeah.
I got to go everywhere and mess with everybody and stuff like that. And just the one thing, Paul, who is the booker there as well, he preaches creativity,
Yeah.
and he preaches an artistic background to whatever you're doing. So, and not to give like the normal stuff. So, I feel like I'm very creative. Let's do it.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just nutty enough to do some of the shit that I think of.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, let's do it. Because at the end of the day, you know, I don't know if I'm inking some paper. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm giving my John Hancock to somebody major. Hopefully that's the goal. But you know, at the end of the day, my good shit's gonna be on some footage somewhere, and my kids in the future gonna see, hey, my dad did some amazing shit.
Yeah.
In this niche world of professional wrestling. So
Absolutely.
like, absolutely.
It's so important. I like those matches. You gotta have those fun matches too, like thrown in. Not everything needs to be so serious. So, Matt Awesome says, "What do you think of Miracle Generation?"
Oh man, because way to throw it up because we got Queen Miracle Generation here.
I'm just gonna walk out with them, so we're gonna be their new managers. They just don't know it yet. Like pretty much,
they don't know.
They don't know. I know I'm gonna get shit next week with main event because I already got shit with Midas at Grind, but that's okay. I'm ready.
So all four of them, if we're gonna put all four of them in Miracle Generation, five, all five of them. I met all of them in XWA in Rhode Island. They used to run every Thursday. And they were very raw talent. I wrestled Haven in Staten Island, and we looked at them. They were super young, still had baby fat on them, like breast still smelled like Similac, like it was all that good stuff. And then you see them come to Wrestling Open, and throw absolute bangers week after week after week, and them growing into their own and still being very young and being workhorses as they are. Though those five individuals are going to be something in this business, and I have no problem, you know, making sure that they do so. Like I will be OG all day, gatekeep them all day. So, and those five need to be protected, and make sure they do the greatness that they presume that they have when it comes to their abilities. Right. You know, from Sean, from Onyx, from Flash, from King, and from Ichi. Like all five of them, super talented, and I have high hopes for those kids. So. Love Miracle Generation.
Oh, they're so great. Matt Austin said worked the Haven and they were great. They're so good. I want them to get booked more. I was just talking to a promoter earlier before this podcast, and I'm like, Haven needs to be booked more. Like Haven needs some love. Like book those guys. Like they're really
watch out now. They're getting there. They're getting there.
Yeah,
they're really getting there.
They're doing really good.
You don't want to overload them so fast. Even though, you know, we don't want to stay away from the ring, but they're very young. I had an argument one time, not an argument, but like what are you doing moment with in Texas by a guy named Gino Medina. Okay. I'm sure MLW. He was one of the trainers, but he was only like 21 because he started at 13. And we call him Old Man Gino because he walked like he was old because he's done this so much. He has so much strength on top. I'm like, yo, take a year. Do your thing. Rest up. Do it. It's like, no. I'm like, all right. And then he just kept doing his thing, and now he's a fucking star. So, you know, do what you got to do. You know, I'm all about longevity. So, you know, don't mind me. Everybody's body's different, but you know, just make sure they get their rest and get a hydro bed at Planet Fitness or some shit.
I'm dead. Oh man. All right, let's do a fan tweet that I got here. So it's from our
Let's do it.
friend Good Cop Bad Cop. So he said,
Yep.
with Tyree Taylor being an anagram of royalty tree, what wrestler would you put on a par with royalty, and what is your favorite tree? He messes with all my guests, just so you know.
All right. Who do I perceive as royalty
Yeah.
in wrestling?
Mm-hmm.
And what's my favorite tree? Okay. First of all, you got to go with sequoias because they're tall, very very tall tree. And it's the most majestic, especially if you can get a overhead view of sequoia tree.
Mm-hmm.
It's very very majestic looking tree.
Yeah.
As far as royalty, it's tough. That's a tough question because I always get asked, "Oh, who's your favorite wrestler?"
Yeah.
That changes every month.
Oh, I'm sure.
That changes every month, every week. That I change with the business, so it's like I still have those old school values and who should be up where, but it's very hard to put someone on a pedestal when they're like that. But I'll give a cop out and say Booker because I've been the closest with him and heard him backstage and all that good stuff. Even though he cursed me out live on Twitter, it was hilarious. It was not hilarious. It was horrible. At the
Okay.
moment. But his insight and his overall look at professional wrestling, especially as he ages and as the business age, are all still correct opinions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He don't miss when it comes to his mindset on professional wrestling. So like he would always have like that right there. And Charmel as well.
Yeah.
Charmel is very, very smart when it comes to the business, especially the back end.
Mm-hmm.
Like one would not work without the other, especially over there. So they're perfect. They're perfect together. So the king and queen,
There you go.
It's a little bit of a cop out, but
No.
there it is.
Hey, no, that's your opinion. That's your thought. Like I'm all for it. So I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yes.
All right. All right. So you've been in singles. You've been in tag team matches. You've been in 6-man tag. I mean, you've been in a whole bunch of types of matches. So is there a match that you have not had that you would like to have, and with who?
Stipulation or type of
anything you want, like I don't know, is there something that you haven't done, like I don't know, death match or like like cage match or barbed wire, something like I'm just throwing names. I'm not saying that that's what you want. I'm just saying like cage matches would be great. I would like I did one in the Bronx, but like not with so many people. Right.
I've done a dog collar match. I've done a bull rope match. I've done all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So I've done pretty good amount of matches. I just need a singles with Big Bro or Big Shane Taylor. Just give me a ring and these hands and a ref, and we can go at it because I've been trying to go at it with him for years. So like Big Bro got to get these knuckles to the face.
Well, I was tweeting for a while, okay, and I know like people were giving me shit, and I'm like, I don't care what anybody says. I need you and Hollister in a cage match, and that would have been my favorite blow off. With you guys, I feel like this isn't over.
Could we get something in the building?
We
could get a cage in that building.
I think you could
get a cage in that building.
It needs to be the full blow
I'm talking to Drew. I'm gonna talk to Drew. Absolutely.
Yes, because
absolutely. He cannot run.
Exactly. He can't run.
We'll put a lid on top too.
You could throw Stetson in there too.
Oh yeah. Caged animal.
But I'm all for it. Like, cause like for weeks, even like one of the weeks that I came up and you guys were going at it, and it was like, okay, cage match. Yeah. I don't care what anybody says. I want a cage match. I'm a real wrestling fan. Okay, I want a cage match. I want to blow off with cage match.
None of that escaping the wind either. None of that 2 feet on the ground. We're gonna lock it up.
Yeah, I just feel like it would be like, I get it. You can't have something like that at every promotion, and that's fine. If you're gonna do it, I feel like it's got to be special, right? Yes, and I feel like this hasn't happened at Open.
And Hey, we still have a 1 year anniversary coming up, and I know we're going to. And I know we're going to do it big.
Yeah.
1 year of Wrestling Open every Thursday forever.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Something big gotta happen now. I might put a ear to the ground. See what's going on.
Matt Awesome said, "Call Bronco for the cage." I'm dead.
We don't have enough zip ties in the world.
I'm done.
We don't have enough zip ties in the world.
I was at one of those shows with the cage match. The thing just dented.
Man.
It was bad. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
shit.
I don't remember who it was. It was like,
man.
Tiff, you need to move.
Man.
I'm dead.
I thought I was in a death match. Like, I thought I was in a death match.
I forgot who was it. That was a multi match. It had to be like one of the last ones before the pandemic.
Yes, it was. It was
TJ Marconi was in it.
It was me, Marconi, my guy Manny, and Bronco, versus the Satsujan squad.
Yeah.
And all sorts of shenanigans are happening there. So
yeah.
in that small hot building.
Oh yeah. Very hot. Oh, that's funny. You know who I just saw like not that long ago? Chris Steeler. I hadn't seen him since
yes.
the BWF days. And I like ran into him.
Yes.
It was when he came into the ring and then like he looked over. I'm like, so then like during like intermission, like I went to go look for him and I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long. And then I was talking about when he threw Brother Greatness into the pillar.
Yes.
I couldn't stop laughing. It was like then.
Oh, you mean Vince Steele?
No.
Big Vince?
No,
Big Vince
Chris
Steele?
Steeler. Chris Steeler.
Chris Steeler. How many times is Brother Greatness gonna go into that damn pole? Because that happened like twice now. So by two guys named Steele.
It's like
Brother Greatness is a nut. Bro.
Oh my God. I remember because like when Chris Steeler came on this podcast, God, I don't even remember what episode that was, like probably in the 20s or something like that. And like again, like I'm pushing almost 200, so it was like a long time ago. And like he was telling the story how and I talked about this with Brother Greatness when he came on. And I was like, Chris said that you told him to throw him really hard against the pillar. Like, you're crazy. You guys are crazy.
Brother ladies and gentlemen.
I'm dead. Hi Johnny, what's going on? He goes, hey Tyree, when are you finally getting your revenge on Big Bacon Brad Hollister?
Well,
we're talking about the cage now.
We're talking about the cage.
Yeah.
We're talking about the cage. And that's always on the table. Putting hands on Brad Hollister is always on the table. It's always on the
table. Mike's in the chat. He goes, Piss Jug in the house. What's up? How are you? Welcome on here. Oh man.
The lovely name. Yes.
Yes. All right. Here's a fun question. Craziest thing a fan's done to get your attention?
Oh man. So you know I wear the chain and I forgot what show it was. It was like some podunk town, Nacogdoches or something, some little hick town, you know, and I was not paying attention to any of them. And I wear the chain and grab the chain and like tried to like yank my head off. I was like, yo, what was good? I'm a big fan. What? You just tried to kill me. You tell me you're a big fan. Thank you very much. Also, I went for a dive, and somebody threw their mother to try to shield themselves.
Oh my God!
So I'm panicking in the air, and this guy just like kind of like goes behind his mom's and just kind of places her in the dive zone.
How do you do that to someone's mom?
That was his mom. I'm sure
I know that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you do that to your mom?
I don't know. But he was like, oh, you big guy shouldn't be doing that. I got scared. and threw his mom's just like right there, and I'm like in the air wondering, crap, I might get sued here.
Wow.
But he came to me after the show and kind of like apologized to his mom in front of me. So I guess that was okay.
How you doing?
But
listen, we all know I am the dive zone, right? Like everybody knows. Like they're like, oh, Tiffany's here.
no
we'll
one
just dive.
tells you to sit there.
I know,
There's
but that's
other
where I get the good photos and the videos. That's why I always sit
In front of
there.
hard cam,
But I
yes,
tell you
that's
this,
the dive zone,
okay?
yes.
I tell you this. I've been at other promotions. I
Uh-huh.
could not be hard cam, okay, or by the entrance. I still
Uh-huh.
get dived at. They do it on purpose.
I can see that.
They do it on purpose. It don't matter where I
can see
sit.
that.
Don't matter where I sit. Oh, Tiffany's
know.
here.
They gotta get the 3D jump through.
No, you know what it is? It's because wrestlers don't catch, not all of them. There's a bunch of wrestlers that don't catch the talent so that they know that I'm going to catch them.
That's very true.
That's
Very
terrible.
true. Or they try to land on their feet and they can't and they overshoot themselves. That's a great scene.
Oh, the best is like when it's all the kids that are doing it, and then it's like I'm with my friends, and they're like, "Oh, well, you know, they know that their mom is here," and I'm like, "Well, fuck you!" Like,
that's not cool, guys.
I know,
That's not cool.
terrible,
She's
terrible.
She's a part of us. Yes.
I better get some free shit if you're gonna dive at me and do that.
Word.
Like, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But seriously. All right, I
shit.
got questions from Bob in the chat. He goes, I think Ace Romero versus Tyree Taylor would be a banger of a match.
We had a match at Ace like so many years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just not at the level I am at today to be confident enough to say that.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, I would definitely have a great match with Ace and take his title.
Okay. And then his other thing says, what are some bigger guys you look up to in the indie scene in any promotion in the East Coast?
Ooh,
That's a hard hitting one.
that is a Well, I'll expand because you know there's only a few of us up here,
Yeah.
in this area. So Texas, there's a guy named Ruthless Ryan Davidson. He's absolutely amazing. I would consider Mysterious Q a bigger guy. Of course, Shane. When Shane and Keith were tagging, they Pretty Boy Killers. They were an inspiration to me to realize that I can do what I can do at the size I can do it and break the mold to do so. So those guys will always be up there. If we go overseas, there was Dave Mastiff. He was just so athletic and like the man over there. It's like Jeff Cobb, those guys who could transcend their size.
Yeah.
Who always inspire me because I can do something a smaller guy can do.
Right.
And get the bigger reaction because I'm twice the size. So now you got to step up and do something else, kid. You know what I'm saying? So like guys like that really, really spark an interest in me. So I appreciate those guys.
But I gotta throw like Steve Mack in there too because I love Steve
Yes.
Mack. Like,
Oh, must. Oh,
yeah,
must.
I knew it. Like I was like, I had to throw him in there.
My ear is still ringing for when he slapped me. Ear's still ringing.
I'm dead.
And no one saw it because it was in BWO. So.
But did I see it? I probably saw it.
Oh, and Uncle Moth.
Yes.
Uncle Moth, man. Dan Moth.
He's so
Dan Moth is absolutely amazing.
He's
He
so good.
ages like fine wine. And he still does the damn thing.
Yeah.
So Dan Moth is up there as well.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, Steve Mack's been on this podcast a couple of times. You guys can check that out. I can't believe you celebrate 25 years of wrestling recently. So
Man.
we were talking about that. But you want to talk about like chops? Like it like brings me back to the BWF days with him too because he was like, I killed your husband. Getting going. He's like, I kill your husband. It was like,
Yeah.
Much love, much love.
Absolutely.
All right, let's do a very important question on this podcast. So obviously, I'm very big into wrestling with positivity because there's so much negative. So I like to focus on the
Yes.
positive. So, is there anything that you could share with us that maybe something you've done for a fan, maybe a fan's done for you, maybe you've done something for a wrestler, maybe something a wrestler's done for you? Anything that we wouldn't normally see, unless like you would tell us the story.
So I love doing stuff like that, to be honest. Especially with the boys. A lot of times, I have a decent offshoot job, so I'm all right. A lot of these kids are trying to scrape up and make a living, so every time they come in, they got a place to stay. We cook, do all the damn things. Like I will go out of the way to drive people from here to there, making sure that I don't even care if I get booked sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I will just make sure that they go out there and live their dream, because I'm gonna get mine regardless.
Right.
So a lot of the times where those guys, like, just wandering. A lot of the guys just wander and go for these bookings and stuff like that. But I make sure that these guys are taken care of.
Right.
For fans aspect, so at Ace, I threw up my shirt and it went into the rafters. Stayed there, and I was dying laughing about that all night. Because it just hung there, and I was upset. So I go out there after the show, meet and greet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This thing had to be like 20 feet high because they already took the ring up. And he's like, can you get that shirt for me? This little kid, can you get that shirt for me and sign it for me, please? I'm a big fan. Blah blah blah. Went 20 minutes to find a big ladder in that building in Jersey and climbed up. Like it was Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon,
Yeah.
and climbed it and got it for him, signed it up. And I don't do heights, so I don't do 20 feet heights or anything like that. So so at the end of the day, we gotta make sure that these guys are entertained and that they like what the product that they came to see, and make sure they get their money's worth. And I'll always be memorable somehow. That's my goal, to be memorable, even if I give you a smile, even if I make your day. You're going to remember me somehow. So, that kid, he still, is on my list and stuff, and kind of interact and stuff like that. So, big shout out to him. But stuff like that, the connections that you get with. And always, I know you've been there, Wrestling Open. At the end of the show, we do this group picture.
Yeah. I try to jump in every time I go up there.
You got to.
Yeah.
You got to. It's tradition now.
Yeah.
So stuff like that to make a memory.
Yeah.
It's always one of my favorite things to do.
I think that's great. I wish more people would do that at promotions, because that's one of the things that I keep saying about Wrestle Open, and that's why it's kind of very special to me, because here I am. Here, and then I get it all the time. You're crazy. You're driving up from New York to Massachusetts. You're driving 3 hours to come watch freaking Wrestling Open for 2 hours, to drive back and go back home for another 3 hours. And I'm like, my answer is always the same. You put on a good card. You have my attention. I don't mind doing the drive if I could do the drive. Would I like to come every week? Absolutely. I can't do it every week. I try to come up when I can, especially if I have other plans on the weekend, I'm not going to drive up to Massachusetts if I'm going to go to Jersey on the weekend or something like that, But, and I always say this too, that it's the fans, that they deal with my crazy ass up there. Much love. It's already one thing, I know a good shitload of the talent. I probably know about 90% of the talent from previously, and for the fans of Wrestling Open to be so opening to me, and just watching how they are with you guys, and how funny it is to watch Brick City Boys, them throwing the bricks, it's all good fun, the diapers going at Bacabella, it's just I'm entertained.
You can't be Wrestling Open when it comes to chance either.
Yeah. You just don't know.
Creative chance You never know what's going on. It's amazing.
Yeah, and shout out to Zach, because he always says that. He goes, there's one thing about us. He goes, if we want you to be a heel, you're going to be a heel. If we want you to be a face, you're going to be a face. And I've watched it. You know, like I've watched the fans turn wrestlers, whether the face, heel.
Whether they wanted to or not.
Yeah.
Whether they wanted to or not. Oh, yeah.
So that's one of the things that I like so much. So, but again, Wrestle Open's very special. Check it out every Thursday on IWTV.
Absolutely.
So, what's some things you like to do when you're not in the squared circle?
So, I play video games. I'm not a Twitch gamer, streamer, or anything like that. I will sit there on my PlayStation and play MLB The Show constantly. Like, I will play all 162 games of the season and the playoffs, so that's probably capped off about 200 games, and just bleed it dry, mindless fun, stuff like that. I love adventure. I love traveling, you know, to see new things, try to do activities, like I didn't realize how in-depth Worcester was. There's a lot of things to do out here. So I'm finding new stuff every day and try to treat myself to something well. And surprisingly, I love my craft. Not only with wrestling, but with my profession. I'm training to be a plumber. So like that creativity when it comes to redoing homes and redoing stuff like that, it's always putting my mind at work and making sure that, you know, I grow my list of talents to be a jack of all trades. So I always love to develop and create and do something new. And I'll also shameless plug. I have a project coming out called Purge. It's a mental health video that I'm doing with one of the producers of Wrestling Open. His name is John Roy. That's coming out fairly soon. So I'm all over the place when it comes to creativity and subjects and stuff like that. So I'm out here. I'm out here. So.
I love that. Mike in the chat says, when you travel on the road, do you have any favorite places to eat that aren't near a place where you live?
So I think we need to start doing this. I think that when the boys of Prolific are together and traveling, it's a whole nother world. You go into Jersey and all that good stuff. You know about the rest stops in Jersey.
Yeah.
So
need my Wawa.
You know about
I need my Wawa.
Wawas. We go to Wawas, but every time we have to go to a Denny's. And Wolf is a food connoisseur. I'm just a foodie. We're just foodies. Wolf is a food connoisseur. He's actually, a chef. So he one time went into the back and dapped up the chef who made his food.
Oh no!
Yep. And he would order two. He would out eat all of us. He would have his big ass omelet and then a big ass like caramel pancake banana bullshit, big ass thing. Eat the savory thing. Take a bite of the pancakes. Go and dap up the chef. Come back and he's passenger just smacking that up. And he snuck pancakes onto a flight before. And he's just eating pancakes right next to us. And all you can smell is walnuts and bananas and pancakes next to us while we eating Cheez-Its and shit. So
that's great.
So like we need to document all this shit. We're not human when we're together. We're not human when we're together, but those are kind of the go-to restaurants for us.
Yeah, you should do that. You should just little quick little videos. I enjoy stuff like that. That's just fun.
Yeah. That's just fun. I just got my TikTok popping. So I'm gonna start doing.
Make little clips on TikTok and merge them together. I love that shit. I love when Alex Zane goes to Japan and he's all on Instagram posting all the food that he's eating at Japan.
If we go to Japan, we will act a fool over there. Nah. Either we go and tear shit up, or we don't go, and they thank us for not going to tear shit up.
That's awesome. Oh man.
Shit.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I have two final questions for you. If anybody else has
Yes.
any, please feel free. Drop it into
Let's
the
do
chat.
it. Let's
All right.
do
So
it.
we only have a few months left of 2022. So what's some goals that you got? Here we go. Bye.
Here we go. Some goals. I want to, of course, I used to be in dealing with life insurance and stuff like that, so I'm real business savvy.
Okay.
So I always feel like the new year starts in the third quarter of the previous year,
Okay.
in the fourth quarter of the previous year. So my goal is to get ready to hit the ground running 2023. Hitting the gym a little more, finishing up bookings. We got a special booking that we just got yesterday. You're gonna like that specifically in the Bronx. It's gonna be in the Bronx November 4th, which is gonna be a great one. We just talked about the individuals as well, so that's gonna be a great one. And just start getting names on my list.
Yeah.
Those heavy hitters, those guys that are all big time on the list. We're headhunting. We're headhunting. So we're gonna end this year pretty strong and go into 2023 on everybody's list.
Okay. Yeah, who was it? Who was it? Mad Awesome? I think somebody sent me something for the November 4th show.
Yeah.
In
the boogie. That's gonna be crazy.
Somebody
That's
sent
gonna be
me
Wheel
something.
Wrestling.
I'm always constantly getting message from wrestlers like telling me about.
Go to that one. That if you're in that area at that time, it's a Friday, November 4th. Go
All
to
right.
that one.
Oh,
That's
I
the
gotta look.
one.
I gotta look at the schedule.
That's the one.
Sounds cool.
Oh, yeah.
Send me the stuff for that too, so that I have it.
Also, I'm gonna use this platform. SAT, stop ducking us. Stop ducking Prolific. SAT. All the Maximos, stop playing with us.
Well, one's injured now.
Y'all came out. That's your fault. Yeah, that's their fault. They came out of retirement for us, and then they duck us to do all these other shows and think they big time, follow the style and all that good stuff. Stop playing SAT versus Prolific. We need it done. Heal up. Get your sensu beans on, and we out. Come on now. Stop playing SAT. Stop playing.
Damn. Give it to me.
We're not playing.
I'm here for it. Give it to me. I love those guys. Those guys are great. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes, sir.
I always like to end up on a positive, and then we'll get into everything that's coming up and stuff like that. So, but we have a lot of fans, listen to the podcast that already got into wrestling training. I get this like all the time. A lot of people listen to the podcast looking for this.
That's very good.
I have people that also, want to get into the business. What's a piece of advice that you would give them?
I'm a vast book of knowledge. I wish I can give them all the advice. If I can give them just one to begin with, shut up and listen. Because at the end of the day, you may not need everything that they teach you, but you still have that tool in your repertoire to use if you need it later. Right. A lot of times when you're new, you're kind of still in that Mizark phase where everything. If you see before I started wrestling, I wrote down a move list. If you seen that move list, you thought I was absolutely insane. I was doing all sorts of WWE 2K bullshit before I even knew I could do that.
Right.
So understand what your trainer.
Right.
First of all, go to a credible trainer. Do your research. Go to a credible trainer.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of shysters out here who think they know it. Go to people who actually do know it. And if you have to pay a little more money, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it. But there's one thing that I learned was they're going to tell you 1,000 things a day. If you take one of those things and apply it for 1,000 days, you now know 1,000 things. So it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So take something, apply, and Rome wasn't built in a day. Keep progressing, and just make sure you apply something that they taught you that you can absolutely do.
Yeah.
And also, guys, hit the gym. Hit the gym, guys. Hit the gym. Before you even know what you're doing in professional wrestling, hit the gym. Lift a weight.
There you go. Well, I mean, if you're in Massachusetts, I mean, the New England Pro Wrestling Academy is really, really good. I mean, I was
absolutely, it is really good.
I was fortunate enough to like go up there. They let me like hang out in like one of the classes, and I was like
it is really
very
good.
impressed because I've been to a couple of schools, and I was like, this is it.
I will say they are one of the best in the East Coast. There's a couple in Jersey that Damian Adams Wrestling Pro, Wrestle Pro, all those schools down there. Creative Pro. Yeah. There's a bunch of decent schools out there. Hog, and there's
H2O. There's a lot.
H2O. Yeah. There's a lot of options to go to. Yeah. Go to a credible trainer. Yeah. Please, guys, go to a credible trainer.
Yeah.
Someone who's going to respect you.
Yeah, because I've seen a lot of those stories of people not trained, getting into the ring, getting hurt. I've watched it firsthand. A lot of bad, it's not good. I don't want to watch that. I'm paying money. I want to see good wrestling. I don't want to see somebody get hurt. I know accident happened, but if you're not trained and you're not ready.
And people like you can see right through you guys.
Oh, I do.
I see right through you.
I do. I can definitely see that, and I feel for people. I get really pissed off. I've had that where I've been pissed off. Like I've watched my friends wrestle, and I watch them get hurt because of the stupidity of the other person not being trained properly, and it's the promoter's fault for allowing that to happen too. So, but yeah, definitely. I always say it's important.
All day about that. That's a whole other podcast.
That's a whole other podcast. We're not gonna go there. We're like staying positive here.
Yes,
so
that's a whole other podcast.
All right, so again, here, let me throw this flyer up here because I have the one with you and Stetson on this Thursday. So definitely check that out this Thursday, 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you're watching Wrestling Open. Anything else coming up that I don't have a flyer for?
Like I said, November 4th in the Bronx. That's going to be amazing. I have Magic coming up any one of those days. CZW. We're over there September 25th. We got all of our guys prolific. We all doing our thing as well. Tune in to any of my social medias, T_Taylor 347, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all T_Taylor 347. And stay tuned, man. Stay tuned.
Awesome.
Stay tuned. I give people what they want, man.
All those links are in the description. If you're lazy and didn't catch that, I got you.
Absolutely.
I got you. So, but Tyree, thank you so much for coming on, hanging out with us, chatting a little bit. I appreciate it.
Way too long overdue.
I know. I'm sorry.
I'm upset about that.
There's a lot of people like that. I'm sorry. It's not personal.
I now need a second. First of all, I'm gonna do something special here. I'm actually gonna auction this bad boy off. This right here was a rib, and I can't believe I had it for a very long time. I will autograph this and send this, and I think it's time it leaves my house. So that right there is it needs to go.
Oh my God.
It needs to go.
Is there like a starting bid that you want, or is it going to be like a DM kind of thing?
Box of cookies. I don't know.
A box of cookies.
Your best offer.
You see how he said that? Like knowing the meme, like posted like the cookies and all the wrestlers giving me shit for cookies. Let's see how it is.
Best offer. Right there. I will send this. I will autograph it, and it's yours.
There you go.
It's about time.
I love that. That's awesome.
About time. It's in front of my desk. I watch it every day. It's like white chicks with Terry Crews on the wall, and they go to his house. And they go to his house. It's on my wall, just like that.
Awesome. Hit up his DMs, man. Give him some money, man. Give him some money. So, and I'm hoping
just take it.
Drew, Paul, cage match. Let's go.
Cage match.
Blow off.
I need facilities.
I need this blow off, and then I'm gonna laugh at everybody who gave me shit for it. But yeah. Why? said it.
Telling you.
I said it.
We're gonna have a Tiffany promotions soon.
Oh.
We're gonna have a. If you book a show,
Oh my
we're
God.
gonna have you book a show.
It would be a shit show if I booked. If I booked the
That's
show.
why you have credible people around you.
I do have credible people around me.
Exactly.
I think I could book. I mean, not that I'm saying I should, but I think I would give a decent card. I mean, I've done like random like podcasts before where I've done like matches I would like to see, and I remember I think it was who was it? It was Alex Zane. Oh God, who was it? I forgot who it was. And actually, Pizza Party Pro was very interested, and they tagged. I don't remember now who it was. This was years ago. And like I remember it was Alex Zane, but I can't remember who it was against. And Pizza Party was like, they tagged both the wrestlers. They're like, "What's up? We'll make this happen." And I was like,
"Let's do it.
I'm coming."
That's I'll do that favor for you.
And sometimes like promoters actually book matches for me too. I'm actually like. If he's a liar.
You in the business. Stop playing.
I am not in the business.
Come on.
I am a fan,
You book. Hey, start booking them. Start booking the shows. I can get a ring. We can do what we can do.
All right, let's do it.
We can bring our peoples.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to, but things just like pour out of my brain. I talked to one of my promoter friends, and we'll sit for hours talking about matches, and the shit that comes out of my head, sometimes he books it. And he was like, he's like, I'd like to see that. Like, I want to see Brick City Boys versus Christian and Chris Bradley and Christian Ross at H2O. I need to see this. Like, I feel like this would be a very hard hitting match that like hasn't happened that needs to happen for tag team wrestling. So that's just like one of the things that comes out of my brain right now. Let's do it. All right, we're gonna book this. We're gonna make this happen.
Let's do it.
Oh, awesome. But again, thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with us. It's so
Absolutely.
awesome.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Yeah. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in next week. Busy podcast week. Casey Kirk. Will she have the ICW championship Monday?
Okay.
You're going to have to tune in Monday. Well, you'll tune in Saturday, but she will be on the podcast with or without the belt on Monday.
Let's do it.
The main event is coming on Tuesday. Let's go. That's a long overdue podcast too. So that's their fault. So, and just for the record,
I wonder if Lion could speak.
Lion fell in front of me at Wrestle Open Thursday. I was like,
yes.
What's up? You don't even have me on your podcast? I'm like, really? You're wrestling right now and you're giving me shit? I was like, are you really doing this right now? Go wrestle. I was like,
when other time to do it.
I'm like,
that's
damn.
That's why you love it. That's why you love it.
Damn. I was like, all right, that's cool. We got you. And I'm gonna announce it later tonight, but on this podcast, Ricky Smokes is coming on next Wednesday.
Oh,
yes.
Ricky Smokes.
Let's
the
go.
Smoke Show. The Smoke Show.
Yeah. So, you have any questions for any of those three?
I'm
gonna write it down. Hold on.
All right.
I write it down. Sometimes I like asking you guys, so then I pass it forward.
So, Ricky Smokes.
Okay.
Ricky Smokes. Did he ever find out? Who destroyed his partner? I got blamed for that.
Okay, I'm writing it down.
Yeah. Did he ever find out who beat up his partner? Okay. I got blamed for that.
There we go.
For main event.
Oh boy.
How does he feel about sharing a name with TME?
Wait, say that again.
How do they feel about sharing a name with TME?
Yeah.
And getting confused.
Okay.
The circus guys are the jock guys.
That's so crazy. That match was awesome. Now that you brought it up, I forgot about that, So now actually I'm excited to like add that to my questions for next week because that's going to be.
So they're they're the main event. The other guys are TME.
Yeah.
So we make it easier on ourselves. And I just hope she gets the title. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all about.
Yeah.
Bring the title to the podcast.
Hell yeah.
That's hella
Let's
content.
go, Casey. Deathmatch Queen. Let's go. So awesome sauce. So
yes.
Thank you guys again for tuning in. You guys know the drill. Stay safe. Support independent wrestling. And I'll talk to you guys soon.
Oh, and if you don't know, now you know. And if you knew before, you'll never forget. Prolific. Out. Whoa.